All right. The varying features that you might look for when you're shopping for a rental loan is, again, loan to value is an important factor. Most of our clients, that's their number one thing. They'll even pay more in rate to get that more money out, that more cash out. So again, it's our job to kind of help fit that in, get you the most money possible at the best rate and fee combination. The next thing is the type of rate structure. We're not seeing a lot of it, but adjustable rates are a thing again. With the flat yield curve right now, the rate differential is not meaningful enough for many people to really jump on the bandwagon for essentially a 5 or a 10-1 arm. So we're not doing a lot of those today. We're still doing most of our loans in 30-year fixed. But what we are seeing is, the fifth bullet point is we're seeing a lot of clients who traditionally would take a longer prepayment penalty if they had a good rate, look for options to make that shorter. So the typical DSCR loan we're quoting today is a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 step down, meaning 5% first year, for the second, 3, 2, 1, 0. So it's 5 years long, but it steps down. In that particular instance, we are quoting a lot of folks a 3-2-1, a 2-1, and even some that say, I don't want it at all. And if they say, I don't want one at all because I want to refinance, we then also provide them some bridge loan options as well to see how they would compare. Because if you pay the money to buy out that prepay, that rate's going up. So again, we would provide those options. You've got rate and fee combinations. Again, what I would say there is that, let's say today's rates are, like I said, 7.25. We have one loan going right now where the client chose to do a small portfolio of properties. And they said, you know what? I'm not going to take a loan rate higher than 6. So we went to work and we found one of our lenders that would allow them to pay discount points. So they're paying 3 points, but they're going to get a 5.875 rate on that particular transaction. So we're in the process of doing appraisals right now with that particular client. So 5.875. I'm not telling you we can do that. He's got a really high FICO score. This lender, is allowing a rate that low. Most of our lenders have floors where they won't allow a loan to go down below around 6.5 right now. So again, we would check for options for you if that's what you want. But again, those types of things are possible for us to investigate for you. Next one is interest only and amortizing options. Interest only is what it is. I mean, it's essentially no principal going down of your monthly payment into the transaction. So we typically will use interest only options in a few cases. One where someone may have a debt service problem and they still want the maximum cash out. The other instance would be where someone says, I'm going to exit this property in a short period of time, and I don't want to pay more into it than I need to, because I'm going to be selling it. So that is an option. Generally, the pricing is a little bit higher. We're typically seeing maybe 0.25% higher in rate for that interest only option. And then I already talked about prepayment penalties, but let's talk about single loan versus blanket options. For a while, blanket options kind of went away in the traditional sense. From the COVID period, they are starting to come back. And there are 2 types of those. I would call the one type of blanket loans ones that are a 5-year loan where it balloons after 5 years, or a 10-year loan where it balloons after 10 years. And then you have a second group of blanket portfolio loans, which are referred to in the business as cross-collateralized, where they'll just take a group of properties and your structure looks very similar to the structure of a single loan. They just group them together. So again, those are options. We typically don't recommend a blanket or portfolio loan for our clients that are doing less than 5 properties at a time. The cost savings are not worth the extra headache typically until you get to the point where you're at 5 or more properties.